What is up guys, the Premium Cat here, welcome back to another weird and wacky Q&A. As always guys, these are going to be now uploaded onto the second channel. I announced last week that they have been switching over from the main channel to the second channel. I also uploaded a video on the main channel earlier, talking about why I hadn't really been uploading for the past couple of days. My internet has been down, and also discussed the fact that I am feeling fucking dreadful. But that's not going to stop me doing a weird and wacky Q&A commentary, so no fucking about. If you're not already following me on Twitter as well, the link to that will be down in the description. That is where I ask for the questions, so you got to remember to use the hashtag AskRats. Some of you were sending in questions earlier without the hashtag, and so if you do that I won't be able to see them, and therefore you won't be able to be featured in the video. So make sure you use the hashtag AskRat. Go ahead and follow me on Twitter. The link's will be down in the description, and we will crack straight on. So the first one comes in from @ScottishSkiller, and he asks, hashtag AskRat, who is the best silver player you've used in the time that you've played Ultimate Team? Now, I have used a fucking shit ton of silver players. When I first started playing Ultimate Team in FIFA 10, I think it was, FIFA 10, FIFA 11, to me, silvers were pretty much non-existent in the way I used, in generally the way I played. I never used to use silver teams or anything like that, but as the FIFAs have grown on and I've, you know, started making more videos and stuff, I found that silvers are more fun to use, and I started probably using them in, like, FIFA 13, and FIFA 13... it has to be Liete, doesn't it? Fucking Liete. Silver, Brazilian, 5-star skiller. He's still in the game now. I believe he's playing in like Qatar or something like that, but he's been downgraded to a 4-star skiller. But when he was, I'm pretty sure he was a right winger back in FIFA 13, 5-star skiller. Pretty sure he was playing in Brazil. I'm not sure what team he was. It might have been Mineiro. That might have been Danlinho actually. But Liete, and generally the Brazilian silvers, Azevedo's got to be up there as well. Having 4-star skills for a left back was absolutely magical. So I'd have to say probably one of the Brazilian silver players. Thanks for the question. Next one comes in from @HarryTHFC, and he asks, hashtag AskRat, who would win in a fight, Piers Morgan or Alan Sugar? Well, first of all, I fucking hate both of those two. Piers Morgan, for obvious reasons, he's a fucking gooner cunt, and Alan Sugar, I actually blocked on Twitter the other day because he calls himself a Spurs fan, yet all he does is sit there and chat shit about the poor performances of our players and stuff. And so he's just a fickle cunt, and so I had to block him. But I'd probably say Alan Sugar would win in a fight, even though he's a lot older than Piers Morgan. I'd say Sugar, being from London, although they're both from London, I'd say Alan Sugar's more hardcore, and I'd say overall in a fight he'd probably beat the shit out of Piers Morgan. Thanks for the question. Next one comes in from @GeorgeKane5, and he asks, hashtag AskRat, which footballer would you most like to spend a day with and why? Hashtag AskRat. I don't know, because would I spend it with some of the Spurs players, or would you end up spending it with like Ronaldo or something? I don't know. Obviously spending the day with Ronaldo would be absolutely magical, but I think I'd probably rather spend it with Kane. I don't know why, like, because he's similar sort of age to me. He's only like a year or two older, so I'm sure that we'd get on quite well. I don't know whether that makes any sense. And obviously both being Spurs fans, both being from London and stuff, we'd probably just go out clubbing, getting absolutely cunted. And so yeah, or Ericsson or Chadley. I know Chadley heads up Oceania and Watford quite a lot. I've seen him up there once. Yeah, so probably Kane. Thanks for the question. Next one comes in from @SJH Sports, the dirty northern bastard himself, and he asks, fuck one, marry one, kill one. Harry Kane, Theo Walcott, or Mesut Ozil? Fuck's sake. Ozil's dead straight. No, he's not. No, he's not. No, Walcott is dead straight away. He's probably the most hated Arsenal player I hate, if that makes sense, apart from Wilshere. So Walcott's dead. And then would I marry Kane or would I fuck Kane? Would I marry Kane? I'd marry Kane and fuck Ozil. As wrong as that is, I would, yeah, I'd have to do that, even though that's fucked up. Thanks for the question. Next one comes in from @DolphinDivePro, and he asks, hashtag AskRat, what would you tip a good waitress? Now, when I go out into restaurants and stuff, and generally when I'm out clubbing and everything like that, I'm not tight. I've made a name for myself over the years. You know, when I actually go out and when I get absolutely spasticated, the credit card comes out, the debit card comes out, and I end up buying a lot more drinks and stuff than I should do, and I end up buying a load of randomers drinks as well. So I'm not particularly tight in that aspect. But if you're a good waiter or waitress, I don't know, it depends what kind of meal it is, because if you're going to like Nando's or something like that, or well, Nando's, in fact, Nando's doesn't really have waiters. I'd say like Wagamama's or something. and you're only spending like £30 on the meal, then I'd probably throw in an extra like 3-4 quid or something. But if you're going to an expensive restaurant that's going to cost you 100, 200, 300 quid, and you've got the money to spend, then you know you're probably going to end up throwing in an extra like 30 quid. It depends whether they're good. If they are really good, then I remember one time I went to this fucking pub lunch, and there's two pubs that these guys own both pubs. It's a little story. It's actually in Croxley Green. I don't know whether you guys know that area. It's near Watford. Basically, two pubs called the Coach and Horses and the Artichoke, and the same people own both pubs. And so we went to lunch in one of them, and they'd actually run out on a particular wine in one of them. So one of the waitresses at our table walked down the road to the other pub to pick up that particular bottle of wine, just to give to us. And so we ended up giving her a hefty tip, which is fair enough. If they go out of their way to make your experience more comfortable and your dining, the pleasure, I suppose, higher, then you're going to get a better tip. And I've been a waiter. I know exactly how it feels and stuff. And you've just got to try and make them feel as good as possible. That was a really good question. Thank you for that one. Next one comes in from @Jordan_Armo, and he asks, #AskRat, Spurs win the Champions League or Arsenal to go bust? Only one answer there, and that is for us to win the Champions League. I couldn't give a fuck if Arsenal went bust or not. In fact, I'd rather them not go bust, because then I could never laugh at their humiliation, and generally the North London derby would never exist, and we'd have to fucking put Chelsea as our #1 derby or something like that instead. So I'd never want Arsenal to go bust. I wouldn't give a fuck if they got relegated, but in terms of going bust, I really wouldn't like that at all. Thanks for the question. Next one comes in from @JackRDesign, and he asks, on a scale from Eriksen to Eriksen, how good is Eriksen at free kicks? #AskRat. He is fucking, from 1 to 10, from Eriksen to Eriksen, he is fucking Eriksen. He's man of the match Eriksen, he's in form Eriksen. His free kicks at the moment are absolutely ridiculous. The one against Sheffield United was crazy. The one against West Brom he scored the other day was decent, but I think Foster should have got a hand to it. But even last season he scored an absolute blinder against Benfica, and this season also he scored a magical free kick against Leicester. So his free kicks are absolutely fantastic. Could be potentially the best free kick taker in the league. I'm not sure if I'm being biased there or not now. Leave me down in the comments section who you think the best Premier League free kick taker is in the league. I know Yaya Toure is up there, I know Baines is up there. I think I've had this question before, but leave me down in the comments section who you think is the best free kick taker. I'm not trying to be biased, but I generally think Eriksen is right up there. Thanks for the question. Next one comes in from @MLD Snoop Dodge, and he asks, #AskRat, do you give a fuck about the Super Bowl tonight? No, probably not, but I might watch it. I'm not into American football at all or anything like that. Football and rugby and cricket and tennis and stuff, all the English kind of sports are all my cup of tea. But the Super Bowl, I might actually watch, generally just because it's the final and stuff. It's the massive American event, and so it's only because it's on for a poxy time in the morning. It starts at like fucking midnight and goes to about 5 o'clock in the morning that I might stay up and watch a bit of it, but ultimately I couldn't give a fuck about it, no. Thanks for the question. We'll have a few more then. The next one comes in from @Burbage Project, I think it's how you pronounce that, sorry, and he asks, will Leicester survive relegation? #AskRat. Unfortunately, I don't think they will. We've played Leicester twice already this season, I think now, and in both games we pretty much dominated from start to finish. I don't know what it is with Leicester, because as well, guys, I live in Watford. I go to a lot of Watford games as well. And last season when they were in the Championship, they fucking ripped shit up. But just generally the step up to the Premier League is absolutely mental. And so, unfortunately, I don't think they will survive relegation. But that's my personal opinion. Obviously, you're a fucking Leicester fan yourself. You may think otherwise. But generally, I think I will probably be going to Watford to see them next season against Leicester in the Championship. Thanks for the question. And the last one comes in from @Sword Effect, and he asks, #AskRat, who do you think is doing the best in the BPL, in brackets teams you would not expect? So who's kind of who's had their best run, I suppose, that you didn't expect to do well? It's got to be Southampton or Swansea, hasn't it? I know Southampton at the end of, in the summer they got rid of a lot of players. A lot of people actually predicted them to go down, which is a bit silly. I didn't think they were going to do bad. I didn't think they were going to go down, but I did think they were going to do a lot worse than they have done. But Koeman has bought very, very well, and they've actually been a bit of a force. I don't think they're going to get Champions League at all, but I still think they've done fantastically well this season. So, and same with Swansea as well. They're on a little bit of they're on a bit of blip now, but generally they've done really well this season. Yeah, so that's pretty much it, guys. If you have enjoyed this video, please drop it a thumbs up. The last one we uploaded last week, the first Q&A onto the second channel, actually managed to hit 60 likes. We only asked for 40, so that's absolutely brilliant. So if we could hit anywhere near that again, that would be fantastic. Another 40 I'd be absolutely over the moon with. If you are new around here, do not forget to subscribe to this channel, and if you're not already subscribed to my main channel, the most of you would be, but if you're not, go ahead and subscribe to that. Link to that will be down in the description. If you're not already following me on Twitter as well, the link to that will be down in the description. Apart from that, I love you all, and I will see you next week with another weird and wacky Q&A. Goodbye.